Yes. So what I was going to say is like recognizing that motivation comes better externally. Like I use social media to help with that a lot.
Yeah, I've seen you do that.
Yeah. So like I will do, there's a number of ways that I do it, but like if there's a challenge, I will like overshare it on social media because then I know that people are watching. And it's sort of like, okay, they know that I'm doing it and they know that I've committed to do this for 30 days. And so like, I don't care if I'm...
It's like marriage.
Yeah, I don't... Yeah. It's what you posted on socials, so you keep sticking to it.
Like you do it in front of a bunch of people because apparently,
yes,
like marriages with more people at the wedding have higher success rates.
Yes, yeah, I get that.
Weird side note, sorry.
No, but it's actually exactly the point though.
Yeah.
For me, that is if I make a promise, even though I know people are on Instagram, they don't care. Like they see my messages, like that my stories, and they're just gonna go, oh yeah,
they'll forget about it.
They'll forget about it. Yeah. But the fact that I know they've seen it and they know that I've made that commitment, the thought that maybe they'll think, hey, I haven't seen Luke post for like a week, and he was supposed to do that for a month. Like, I don't know. I just find that really challenging to allow that to happen. So I will do it. Like I might be going to bed at midnight and I remember I still haven't done that thing. I'll get up and I'll do it because it's just not, I'm just not capable of going to bed.
That's not enough external motivation for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost, you almost remind me of like YouTubers almost, or streamers who have have that content grind, and not because not only do they have eyes on them, but they also have people who they employ to do it. And I don't know, that's like I don't know if you think about it like this, but it's almost like a second job, your social media. And I wonder if you think about it like that, or if you think.
I think about ATT kind of like that.
Right.
Yeah, like the social... And to be honest, I have... Like, there's been a bit of burnout, in my life in general in the last couple of years, which is really the only time in my life that I haven't treated it like this. But, like, anything before, let's say, 2021, the release cycle of releasing 6 a.m. every Tuesday... Like, I couldn't tell you how many times I got up at 4 a.m. on a Tuesday morning so I could edit, so I could release at 6 a.m. because I didn't get to do it in the week before. And that was just because I had said, I'm going to do this. And I'm not going to let anything stop that. Starting a new business a couple of years ago, that reshifted my priorities. And so ATT is still definitely a priority, but now I think about it in the sense of, well, how do we build our donation base so we can afford to get someone to do it? Because I've just simply reached the limit of what I can mentally and physically achieve. So it's not that I am not committed, it's that there's just literally not enough Luke. So, that's why the focus is now on building team. So I think there's, that's probably a fairly significant, what's I'm looking for, milestone in my life where I'm no longer thinking, how do I put more hours in my day, and thinking, how can I leverage, a community to be able to do things. So
yeah,
what's interesting, that it kind of reminds me, I have a couple of different tracks in my mind, but one track is that it almost seems like something that starts as a hobby can actually transform your life in a really significant way.
Oh yeah.
And maybe for people who are making resolutions or significant changes in their life, I think maybe one thing that we should all start considering is maybe how big this might get, and if that's something that you want to pursue.
And do I want that?
Yeah, and I think one example of that is when my brother started exercising. If people know, you know my brother, he posts on social media now.
Yeah,
he's great. He's so great. And I love him for it. That because he's clearly very passionate about it.
He's
and
dedicated.
I wish I could be that motivated.
Yeah.
Me too, man. I'm his brother. Come on. But and the other thought that I had was a couple of years ago I was making music videos and you were involved in one of them. And that was
not singing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I still look like dancing in the background.
That would be really great as a blooper. But genuinely though, you did contribute to probably my favorite video of all of the ones that I produced. And going back on that, I feel like one of the reasons that I stopped so early, if you can call that period of time premature, is I feel like it had gotten big. Like, it had gotten big for me, and if I wanted to keep going, that I had to get bigger, and now I had to up my expectations because more people were watching. And I wonder how I don't know if you have a similar thing to that, but Luke, like I wonder how you were able to get through that initial phase. Did you have to have a turning point, like this is where I'm going to go with this thing now?
It's about your expectations.
Well, yeah.
Like I start this may be a me thing. Like I don't know whether this is just nature of the beast here, but I start everything in the back of my mind thinking like this could totally blow up and be world changing. Like I think that about every dumb little thing that I do. I just, there's no, in my mind, it's sort of like, well, I started making, I started my YouTube channel, and I was looking back on it the other day. I stumbled across one of my own videos, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember when I did that. And I looked at the amount of work that I put into that video. Like no one paid me. There's no brand deals. There's no nothing. There's like such a low number of videos on my channel, and it was so consistent, and like I had given thought to like the narrative arc of the content and how to communicate this and that, and I'm just like, I remember when I made that video, I was sitting there editing that, thinking that like, hey, who knows? Even though I know all the probability says that it will probably just get a couple of hundred views over the course of the next 10 years, and that'd be that. I knew that was the most likely outcome, but I still held that intention with this could also blow up and I could be Casey Neistat in 2 years. Like
you were definitely going for that vibe, eh?
Yeah, well, that was just because that's what I appreciate, right? And so that's the direction, and I love doing that. Anytime I take on a new art form, a new discipline, a new whatever, I intentionally go and I go, okay, who's like 5 people that I respect the most? And then I will start by trying to copy all of them and then sort of synthesize my own style out of that. And yeah, like Casey was one of the biggest influences. Like you know, Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, Maddie Hapoya. For anyone who's like in the YouTube filmmaking sort of area, I'll know all those names. And so I'm looking at those going, okay, I can learn these techniques. And anyway.
This is a side tangent because
this entire episode is all tangential. So go for it.
But I really love YouTube too, and I think it's just been interesting how. Okay, let me explain myself because
we normally do, Chris. Go for it.
One other thing that also stopped me from making those YouTube style music videos is the fact that YouTube is changing. Like and
for the worse.
It's
the beastification of YouTube.
I mean, even then,
please.
Even then, it really depends on what sphere of YouTube you're talking about or what you're involved in.
Yeah.
But like, I think I wasn't even in that section of Casey Neistat necessarily. But at the same time, I'm not really in the section of Mr. Beast or that sphere of YouTube either. I think YouTube for me has gotten to the point where everybody that YouTube recommends me now are video essayists. It's an essayist, sorry.
Yep.
People who present ideas and who make really thoughtful.
Johnny Harris, Cleo Abrams, etc. Right?
Not even that. Like I think they have their own certain space, but and it's just I can't even like think about all of the creators I have in my mind right now that as I speak about this. But my point is that the nature of YouTube as something that I want to do was just overwhelming for me. Like I didn't feel like I could actually set my I think my expectation was like if I'm not like these guys or if I can't make music like these guys, then I might as well not make music. Or like I know that people are on TikTok right now and are doing these really cool stuff, but I know I'm not like them or like that's not my style. So
sorry, trying to.
That's okay. We know you're rude. It's fine.
I'm helping.
Okay. But that's kind of the up and down of my thought pattern with just how complicated things were really. And if I wanted to do something, I had to find a platform to do this specific thing, or I had to mold myself in the sphere of this other platform, and it was just all like, man, like how do you do the things you want at that point?
I think, and I know this is gone stupidly off topic.
Mhm.
But-
That's fine. I've actually got a plan for when we finish this chapter. So
Okay, that's good, that's good.
All right,
Uh,
we're heading that way.
Yeah, we're headed that way. Go, Steve.
I think the important thing is, and the reason why the people who are successful is because they're doing what they like.
Yes.
Not because they're doing what they think other people want to see.